Bible in a Year Live Chronological Project, Week 31, Day 3, New English Translation. Jeremiah is charged with deserting, arrested, and imprisoned. The following events also occurred while the Babylonian forces had temporarily withdrawn from Jerusalem because the army of Pharaoh was coming. Jeremiah started to leave Jerusalem to go to the territory of Benjamin. He wanted to make sure he got his share of the property that was being divided up among his family there. But he only got as far as the Benjamin gate. There, an officer in charge of the guards named Elijah, who was the son of Shelemiah and the grandson of Hananiah, stopped him. He seized Jeremiah and said, "You are deserting to the Babylonians." Jeremiah answered, "That's a lie. I am not deserting to the Babylonians." But Elijah would not listen to him. Elijah put Jeremiah under arrest and took him to the officials. The officials were very angry at Jeremiah. They had him flogged and put in prison in the house of Jonathan, the royal secretary, which they had converted into a place for confining prisoners. So Jeremiah was put in prison in a cell in the dungeon in Jonathan's house. He was kept there for a long time. Then King Zedekiah had him brought to the palace. There, he questioned him privately and asked him, "Is there any message from the Lord?" Jeremiah answered, "Yes, there is." Then he announced, "You will be handed over to the king of Babylon." Then Jeremiah asked King Zedekiah, "What crime have I committed against you, or the officials who serve you, or the people of Judah? What have I done to make you people throw me in prison? Where now are the prophets who prophesied to you that the king of Babylon would not attack you or this land? But now please listen, your royal majesty, and grant my plea for mercy. Do not send me back to the house of Jonathan, the royal secretary. If you do, I will die there." Then King Zedekiah ordered that Jeremiah be committed to the courtyard of the guardhouse. He also ordered that a loaf of bread be given to him every day from the baker's street until all the bread in the city was gone. So Jeremiah was kept in the courtyard of the guardhouse. Jeremiah is charged with treason and put in a cistern to die. Now, Shephatiah, son of Matan, Gedaliah, son of Pashur, Jehukal, son of Shemaliah, and Pashur, son of Malchijah, had heard the things that Jeremiah had been telling the people. They had heard him say, "The Lord says, those who stay in the city will die in battle or of starvation or disease. Those who leave the city and surrender to the Babylonians will live. They will escape with their lives." They had also heard him say, "The Lord says, this city will certainly be handed over to the army of the king of Babylon. They will capture it." So these officials said to the king, "This man must be put to death, for he is demoralizing the soldiers who are left in the city, as well as all the other people there by these things he is saying. This man is not seeking to help these people, but is trying to harm them." King Zedekiah said to them, "Very well, you can do what you want with him, for I cannot do anything to stop you." So the officials took Jeremiah, put him in the cistern of Malchijah, one of the royal princes, that was in the courtyard of the guardhouse. There was no water in the cistern, only mud. So when they lowered Jeremiah into the cistern with ropes, he sank in the mud. An Ethiopian official rescues Jeremiah from the cistern. An Ethiopian, Ebed-Melech, a court official in the royal palace, heard that Jeremiah had been put in the cistern. While the king was holding court at the Benjamin gate, Ebed-Melech departed the palace and went to speak to the king. He said to him, "Your royal majesty, those men have been very wicked in all that they have done to the prophet Jeremiah. They have thrown him into a cistern, and he is sure to die of starvation there, because there is no food left in the city." Then the king gave Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian the following order: "Take 30 men with you from here and go pull the prophet Jeremiah out of the cistern before he dies." So Ebed-Melech took the men with him and went to a room under the treasure room in the palace. He got some worn-out clothes and old rags from there and let them down by ropes to Jeremiah in the cistern. Ebed-Melech called down to Jeremiah, "Put these rags and worn-out clothes under your armpits to pad the ropes." Jeremiah did as Ebed-Melech instructed. So they pulled Jeremiah up from the cistern with ropes. Jeremiah, however, still remained confined to the courtyard of the guardhouse. Jeremiah responds to Zedekiah's request for secret advice. Some time later, Zedekiah sent and had Jeremiah brought to him at the third entrance of the Lord's temple. The king said to Jeremiah, I would like to ask you a question. Do not hide anything from me when you answer. Jeremiah said to Zedekiah, If I answer you, you will certainly kill me. If I give you advice, you will not listen to me. So King Zedekiah made a secret promise to Jeremiah and sealed it with an oath. He promised, As surely as the Lord lives, who has given us life and breath, I promise you this, I will not kill you or hand you over to those men who want to kill you. Then Jeremiah said to Zedekiah, The Lord, the God who rules over all, the God of Israel says, You must surrender to the officers of the king of Babylon. If you do, your life will be spared, and the city will not be burned down. Indeed, you and your whole family will be spared. But if you do not surrender to the officers of the king of Babylon, the city will be handed over to the Babylonians, and they will burn it down. You yourself will not escape from them. Then King Zedekiah said to Jeremiah, I am afraid of the Judeans who have deserted to the Babylonians. The Babylonians might hand me over to them, and they will torture me. Then Jeremiah answered, You will not be handed over to them. Please, obey the Lord by doing what I have been telling you. Then all will go well with you, and your life will be spared. But if you refuse to surrender, the Lord has shown me a vision of what will happen. Here is what I saw. All the women who are left in the royal palace of Judah will be led out to the officers of the king of Babylon. They will taunt you, saying, Your trusted friends misled you. They have gotten the best of you. Now that your feet are stuck in the mud, they have turned their backs on you. All your wives and your children will be turned over to the Babylonians. You yourself will not escape from them, but will be captured by the king of Babylon. The city will be burnt down. Then Zedekiah told Jeremiah, Do not let anyone know about the conversation we have had. If you do, you will die. The officials may hear that I have talked with you. They may come to you and say, Tell us what you said to the king and what the king said to you. Do not hide anything from us. If you do, we will kill you. If they do this, tell them, I was pleading with the king not to send me back to die in the dungeon of Jonathan's house. All the officials did indeed come and question Jeremiah. He told them exactly what the king had instructed him to say. They stopped questioning him any further because no one had actually heard their conversation. So Jeremiah remained confined in the courtyard of the guardhouse until the day Jerusalem was captured. The fall of Jerusalem and its aftermath. The following events occurred when Jerusalem was captured. A vision of God's glory. In the 30th year, on the 5th day of the 4th month, while I was among the exiles at the Kibar River, the heavens opened and I saw a vision. On the 5th day of the month, it was the 5th year of King Jehoiachin's exile. The word of the Lord came to the priest Ezekiel, the son of Buzi, at the Kibar River in the land of the Babylonians. The hand of the Lord came on him there. As I watched, I noticed a windstorm coming from the north, an enormous cloud with lightning flashing, such that bright light rimmed it and came from it like glowing amber from the middle of a fire. In the fire were what looked like 4 living beings. In their appearance they had human form, but each had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight, but the soles of their feet were like calves' feet. They gleamed like polished bronze. They had human hands under their wings on their 4 sides. As for the faces and wings of the 4 of them, their wings touched each other. They did not turn as they moved, but went straight ahead. Their faces had this appearance. Each of the 4 had the face of a man, with the face of a lion on the right, the face of an ox on the left, and also the face of an eagle. Their wings were spread out above them. Each had 2 wings touching the wings of one of the other beings on either side, and 2 wings covering their bodies. Each moved straight ahead. Wherever the spirit would go, they would go, without turning as they went. In the middle of the living beings was something like burning coals of fire, or like torches. It moved back and forth among the living beings. It was bright, and lightning was flashing out of the fire. The living beings moved backward and forward as quickly as flashes of lightning. Then I looked, and I saw 1 wheel on the ground beside each of the 4 beings. The appearance of the wheels and their construction was like gleaming jasper, and all 4 wheels looked alike. Their structure was like a wheel within a wheel. When they moved, they would go in any of the 4 directions they faced without turning as they moved. Their rims were high and awesome, and the rims of all 4 wheels were full of eyes all around. When the living beings moved, the wheels beside them moved. When the living beings rose up from the ground, the wheels rose up too. Wherever the Spirit would go, they would go, and the wheels would rise up beside them because the Spirit of the living being was in the wheel. When the living beings moved, the wheels moved, and when they stopped moving, the wheels stopped. When they rose up from the ground, the wheels rose up from the ground. The wheels rose up beside them because the Spirit of the living being was in the wheel. Over the heads of the living beings was something like a platform, glittering awesomely like ice, stretched out over their heads. Under the platform, their wings were outstretched, each toward the other. Each of the beings also had 2 wings covering their bodies. When they moved, I heard the sound of their wings. It was like the sound of rushing waters, or the voice of the Almighty, or the tumult of an army. When they stood still, they lowered their wings. Then there was a voice from above the platform over their heads when they stood still. Above the platform over their heads was something like a sapphire shaped like a throne. High above the throne was a form that appeared to be a man. I saw an amber glow like a fire enclosed all around from his waist up. From his waist down, I saw something that looked like fire. There was a brilliant light around it, like the appearance of a rainbow in the clouds after the rain. This was the appearance of the surrounding brilliant light. It looked like the glory of the Lord. When I saw it, I threw myself face down and heard a voice speaking. Ezekiel's commission. He said to me, "Son of man, stand on your feet, and I will speak with you." As he spoke to me, a wind came into me and stood me on my feet, and I heard one speaking to me. He said to me, "Son of man, I am sending you to the house of Israel, to rebellious nations who have rebelled against me. Both they and their fathers have revolted against me to this very day. The people to whom I am sending you are obstinate and hard-hearted, and you must say to them, 'This is what the sovereign Lord says.' And as for them, whether they listen or not, for they are a rebellious host, they will know that a prophet has been among them. But you, son of man, do not fear them, and do not fear their words, even though briars and thorns surround you, and you live among scorpions. Do not fear their words, and do not be terrified of the looks they give you, for they are a rebellious host. You must speak my words to them whether they listen or not, for they are rebellious. As for you, son of man, listen to what I am saying to you. Do not rebel like that rebellious host. Open your mouth and eat what I am giving you." Then I looked and realized a hand was stretched out to me, and in it was a written scroll. He unrolled it before me, and it had writing on the front and the back. Written on it were lament, mourning, and woe. He said to me, "Son of man, eat what you see in front of you. Eat this scroll, and then go and speak to the house of Israel." So I opened my mouth, and he fed me the scroll. He said to me, "Son of man, feed your stomach and fill your belly with this scroll I am giving to you." So I ate it, and it was sweet like honey in my mouth. He said to me, "Son of man, go to the house of Israel and speak my words to them. For you are not being sent to a people of unintelligible speech and difficult language, but to the house of Israel, not to many peoples of unintelligible speech and difficult language, whose words you cannot understand. Surely, if I had sent you to them, they would listen to you. But the house of Israel is unwilling to listen to you, because they are not willing to listen to me. For the whole house of Israel is hard-headed and hard-hearted. I have made your face adamant to match their faces, and your forehead hard to match their foreheads. I have made your forehead harder than flint, like diamond. Do not fear them, or be terrified of the looks they give you, for they are a rebellious host." And he said to me, "Son of man, take all my words that I speak to you to heart and listen carefully. Go to the exiles, to your fellow countrymen, and speak to them. Say to them, 'This is what the sovereign Lord says. whether they pay attention or not. Ezekiel before the exiles. Then a wind lifted me up, and I heard a great rumbling sound behind me as the glory of the Lord rose from this place, and the sound of the living beings' wings brushing against each other, and the sound of the wheels alongside them, a great rumble sound. A wind lifted me up and carried me away. I went bitterly, my spirit full of fury, and the hand of the Lord rested powerfully on me. I came to the exiles at Tel Abib, who lived by the Kibrar River. I sat dumbfounded among them there, where they were living for 7 days.